Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. Just noticed this little slide is coming down. How is everybody doing? I can't see you on any of my devices, of course. Everyone having a wonderful week so far? Just going to pull this up on Facebook, make sure we've got sound and video and all of that fine stuff. Let's see if this helps as well. My desk is a mess. You know how I feel about a mess. Okay, where am I? Just have to make sure there's sound. Once we got that, everything's good to go, right? Okay. Turn that down. Sorry, I want to make sure this is working because we've had how many weeks where I haven't, like my lips are moving, but you can't hear the words coming out of my mouth. Okay, I see my messy desk. You should be able to see my face. Hi, Karen. Hi, Sharon. I did cut my, well, I didn't cut my hair. I got it cut. Yeah. Where is my image? Well, sorry, bear with me for just a second. I can't see my face on here. You can see and hear me, woo-woo, and I can see, I know, right? I can see that both Facebook and YouTube seem to be working. I'm not sure why Facebook is still showing my desk because that's not the current view. Buffering, buffering, buffering. Okay, now I see my face. We got sound. Okay, so my desk is a mess because I've got so much stuff to show you. I can't hear myself, so I probably don't need to have this in, but let's keep it in just in case that's the microphone that's working. Thank you, Angie. It is quite a bit shorter than I had intended, but I like it. Takes some getting used to. I do have bangs, but by the end of the day, they're just kind of hanging there and driving me nuts. So I need to remember to look there, not there. It's hard to not look at yourself. Aw, thanks, Feline. Okay, let me switch over to the promotions tab because there's so much going on. I don't want you to miss a thing. Look, I put lipstick on, my hair's done. Who am I? Nails done. Oi, okay. So please give me thumbs up or something if there's sound and this is working. Fingers crossed, thumbs up. I can't hear it on here. Let me just double check something. Connect. Connect. Buffering, buffering, buffering. Come on, connect faster. I now have dedicated Wi-Fi in this room. This shouldn't be happening. Come on, come on. I bet you if I checked on YouTube, this wouldn't be happening. Come on. Can you give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear me, or is it just no talking? We've got 7 comments. Thank you, Karen. So bouncy. Okay, sounds like there's volume. Hi, Christine. Okay, so it looks like you can see. So my May gift with purchase is currently on back order, but place a $60 order with me anytime during the month of May, and you will get a package of these in color jewels when they are back in stock. Just want to make sure that the sound is working. Seems like it. And I think you can't hear what's going on in here. I hope it's just me. Okay, so we've got that. We also have, let's unhide that one. We also have the Join Plus promotion. So join anytime in May. Okay, good. You can hear me. You can see me. Yee! Progress, everyone. Persistence pays. So if you've caught me the last like month, I've been having issues. I mean, I always have issues, but I think we figured it out. Thank you for sharing, Pam. Okay, so the Join Plus promotion, if you have ever thought about joining Stampin' Up, now is the perfect time. You don't have to sell a darn thing. You can do it just for your own discount. There are people that just kidnap. So they get their $206 in product, never place another order. Of course, that's not what I want. I want you to join my Crafted AF team and stay with us. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email, stampedaf@gmail.com, messenger, whatever. Just send a homing pigeon. Reach out because you are getting $206 for $135. Now, it depends which province you're in. In Manitoba, you're going to be paying PST on top of that. There's always free shipping. There are 2 provinces in the country that have a requirement of a direct selling license. Manitoba is one of them. So any questions, just reach out because this honestly is the best time to join. Okay, so next, what do we have? Oh, In Color Club. So this is running for the next 5 months. You will get everything in one In Color. So Fresh Freesia, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, Pale Papaya, and I knew I was going to forget the other one. Did I say Fresh Freesia? Polish Pink is the last one. So each month you will get a set of blends. You will get a pack of cardstock. You will get the roll of ribbon. You will get the DSP. I'm actually throwing in as a little freebie for participating. Whatever there is in the In Color, you're going to get it. It's $65 a month, 5-month commitment. Hi, Linda. Long time no see. I just had my team meeting last night and I'm seeing a few of my team members on here. Okay, so last call for product shares. If you want a sampling of the DSP, the ribbon, the embellishments in the new annual catalog for a fraction of the cost, you want to join my product shares. Now, if you purchase all 3, you're going to get an invitation. You're going to get an invitation to the VIP party, which is the Fab Four. So Tiffany Almeida, Sherry Reben, Carolyn Gorham, and myself on June 13th are going to have a VIP party for those that purchase the entire shares with us. So today is the last day to get in your order. So the link is on my page, and I believe in my group. If you're not a member of my Stamped AF group, go and do a search and request to join. And that is all for the promotion. So let's go back. Well, not back. Let's go over here so you can see this mess of a desk. Hi, Cheryl. You know, I just want to say, oh, apparently Cheryl sounds like S-I-R-I. So asking what I need. Okay, so my desk is a mess right now. I just inked up this popsicle for the first time. I did not realize that that did not match with the stick. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a spoon or something. Or maybe that's the popsicle stick and that's not. I don't know. Anyways, I have a couple of samples to show you because the deadline for the, what month are we? The May Creativity Delivered is coming up on the 20th. We are the 12th today, so you've got like 8 days? Yeah, 8 days to sign up. And I want to create a card using this because I hadn't used the popsicle, and you can see this gorgeous DSP. I actually had a popsicle after dinner. One of my wonderful team members introduced me to these Del Monte fruit pops, and it's like 100% fruit. And the strawberry ones are... This sounds so stupid. Thebomb.com. They are so good. It's like real strawberry. Anyways, I had one of those, but I thought I really want to show you some more with this sweet ice cream. And I've also got some new product to show you. So do we want to do both? Or do we want to do a vote on if I should use the sweet ice cream or if I should show you the new product? I know, you're probably like, show us both! Show us both! Kind of cutting myself out on the iPad thingy, aren't I? You don't really need to see my face, do ya? That'll work. I just have to stay right here. So excited. I pre-ordered my new iPad. It's all on the floor at the hairdresser's. I managed to get an appointment right before we went back into another lockdown. Hi, Colleen. That sounded like Colleen. So I managed to book an appointment on Friday, and then the newest restrictions were announced on Friday night, and personal services like hair salons, nail salons, all that kind of stuff was closing on Sunday. So I made it in the nick of time. It is shorter than I wanted, but it's just hair. I've gotten to the point in my life where, you know what? Who cares? It's just hair. It'll grow. Probably too fast. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking we should do both. I know, I was just talking too about growing it out, but all I ever do when I grow it out is put in a ponytail, and it wasn't staying up, so I'm like, get out of here, just be gone. I have squirrel syndrome, especially bad today. Okay, I want to show you this week's video finally got posted. So I had to self-isolate for 2 days, lost 2 days, and couldn't get my video done, obviously, because I was self-isolating in one room, and it wasn't this room because I can't sleep in here. But I finally got this posted. This is using the new Give It a Whirl dyes. If you haven't seen these in the catalog, which is entirely possible, because I really think they're a sleeper. Let me show you in here. I also want to remind you that the deadline for to sign up for bingo is tomorrow. So if you want to participate, aloha, Annie. Thank you, Pam. My Just Peachy bingo, this is the hex color chart because I needed it, but also it's to bookmark this page. The deadline to sign up and pay for bingo is tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss this. Okay, the Give It a Whirl guys. Right here. Tiffany is the one that showed me them. It's a reveal wheel or a spinner card. So I have done this before. I created it just with a scallop circle, and I don't remember, but it was with the PS I Love You, I want to say. It was the one with the typewriter like 2 years ago. I know, Karen. Feline says the same thing. We're going to have to figure out a way to do that. We must be able to have an international bingo, right? I don't know how on earth it would work, but it's got to be done. Okay, so it is very easy to miss this, and I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. I really think that this is, the stamp set, while cute, is a missed opportunity. I think we could have had all of these little icon stamps that would have fit on here. So I didn't purchase this. It's not my thing. I wanted to use it with the Peekaboo Farm, which is an adorable one. Tiffany and I will be featuring that coming up. Yeah, Fab 4 bingo, right? I do have the new pastels, and I actually used them, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Megan, because I wanted to be among the first to use it. There are literally now 3 videos with the Give It a Whirl dyes on YouTube. Mine is the 3rd. There may have been more that were uploaded after mine, but I did use these soft pastels. They are chalk pastels, not oil. So I used those. My biggest tip, one, is to YouTube a couple of videos, because I checked some chalk pastel videos and there are some great tips. There's some great techniques. It has to be set. If you don't set it, it will just wipe off. So I just used water painter. I'm not crazy about how that went, but I just kept messing with it. So I used the pastels on the clouds and that. Now, the one thing that really bugs me about this is you can see the mark, the impression from the die. But look how stinking cute this is. So I used the cow. I had a little mini dimensional under there, but the release paper was coming off. Highly recommend a dimensional in there to keep it so that your finger can get in to turn it. Okay, so we've got the horse. So if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, pop on over because you can see how I did this. It is one of my longer videos at just under half an hour, but... Okay, and then there's the little piggy. And I thought about putting that farmhouse from the Hey Chick, right, Cheryl? The Hey Chick, you know how we had the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick, and they both came with dyes? Well, the Hey Chick is retired again. So I was going to use the hen house, but for 2 reasons I chose not to. One, it's retired, and you know I don't use retired product. Hold that thought. And two, it just took up too much room. It was covering my whole hillside. So if you want to know how I made this, go check out my YouTube video. I want to show you, I almost said delivered. I finally designed my cards for this month's Creativity Delivered, which is the Sweet Ice Cream Bundle or Ice Cream Corner. And this one had me stumped. I feel like I had already done my best work with this bundle, which is terrible. And I don't even think I have samples left to show you because I think I've given them all away. But I had a cute little shaker card that was part of Stamping Society. I had, this is one. So it's like a fun fold. So you cut your card front and you layer your cones. I can't speak. I was going to say cubes. So that is a cute one. That was part of the Stamping Society as well. I had a cute shaker card. The first one that I did, I know I don't have that one, is a fun fold where you pull the whole panel up. And those ones I've given out. I think maybe next week, I think I'm going to do, yes, I tried a blender pen too. I preferred the water, and I will tell you that the best technique that I found was to kind of get a bit of chalk, so just like scrape it, get a little bit of chalk on a block or something, and mix a little water in, and then you're painting with it. I did try using my water pen. See, I've got squirrel syndrome. I'm going to be all over the place tonight. Fair warning. I did just try taking my water painter and wetting that, but I didn't get enough intensity. So the chalk method was the best way. Anyways, I'd love to show you that one with the ice cream, but I know that I've already given those away. But I do want to do another D-stash because this is my current card stash, and it's too much. I'm trying to keep it under control. It really got out of control before. So I think maybe next week I will build that into the Facebook Live and we'll do another claim it. My card D-stash. Okay, so I just can't focus. So this is one card that I came up with while I was designing. This is another one. So Cheryl, the Stamping Society, you can, I wonder if that's something I can do. You can purchase it outright. My team members get it for free. We do have a different demo in the US. For one project, I'm not working with Tiffany. But you can purchase it outright. But let me give that some thought. Okay, so watching a Jennifer Maguire video, she had these really cute pull-out cards. And I thought, oh, I could do this. But Tiffany would kill me. This is a lot of die cutting for Creativity Delivered. And she does that. All the die cutting and the embossing. So this is our vanilla... Mika's barking. Vanilla ice cream, almost said yogurt, strawberry. It's like a Neapolitan, but then when you pull this, and this needed some extra reinforcement, but it pulls out. Now, because my little guides went so high up, I had to cover so much of it, and that didn't work. So then I tried the next one that was in the Jennifer Maguire video, which was using some circles. And well, that one's super cute. Like you've got this never-ending line of cones. It's really hard to push back in. So I popped in a couple of dimensionals, but it's still like you have to feed it back in. And what kind of fun fold is that if you have to like maneuver it? So then this was one that I showed if you watched Tiffany's live on Saturday because she was going to IKEA on Sunday. She mentioned that I shared a card made by Michaela Titheridge, who is the Crafty Oink Pen in the UK. Everything she does is just amazing. She did this slimline card that had cookie dough, strawberry, and chocolate ice cream. So I thought that Give It a Whirl set, the dies, would be really cute with this. So I used the Nothing's Better Than to do my cookie dough because that's where it's at for me. We've got the sweet strawberry, and then we've got the chocolate. Now, we've got a bowl of vanilla here, but so the person eating this, and look at my spoon! I used one of the pick a label punches to get my spoon, and this is the old brushed metallic cardstock. But they're sitting there eating vanilla, trying to think of what kind of toppings they want. Isn't that cute? So give It a Whirl dies some thought. Let me show you. There are so many dies in here that I decided I was going to just put the die insert in here. Thank you. But there are so many. I love the stitch clouds. You've got 3 different shapes that you can use for the opening. Actually 4, because you've got the circle, which is the only one I've used so far, but you've got this that fits this perfectly. You've got a heart, you've got a rectangle, there's little debossed arrows, there's arrow dies, there's stitched stars, stitched heart. It's phenomenal. Even if you never make a reveal wheel card, which I love because it rhymes. Give it a whirl die set some thought. I had a pun in there somewhere, but it didn't work out. Give it a whirl dies some thought, whatever. Okay, so what should I do first? We're kind of on, thank you. We're kind of on this. So I want to show you, this is a card design that I cased, Stamping Before Anything Else. So that is Nancy Forsberg and Kayla Corey. They did a super cute card and I cased it for Spring Fling. Let me show you the one that I did, because I've got them in a basket still. So they had it and they cased it from someone, but they had it like, we're going to do a popsicle in here, this one, but without the extra stick. And it's a slider card. Super fun, right? Now, remember I said I don't use retired product. Well, you can use the stitched rectangle dies or any kind of banner that you have, but the classic label punch is just so much easier. And if Julie's watching, I did end up buying another one because I just can't live without it. So a couple things that I won't get rid of. Circle punches, because hello. The classic label punch, apparently, was on sale, and oh, dang that. You go enjoy your meeting and then come back. I may still be here. Yeah, so I got another one, but I took it a little bit further and I made it so that I have a banner that comes out that hides the little slider panel. Because whenever I'm sorry about the shadow, but I need some air in here. It's 22 degrees and I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans, kind of hot. Okay, so I made this little complicated slider. So let me know, do you want to see how to make this? Because it's super cute. You could use it with any bundle. Doesn't have to be the ice cream or the popsicle or anything. Ooh, that green one's cute. Okay, so let me know if you want to see that. But in the meantime, you can vote. But in the meantime, let me show you, there are a couple of other dies that are kind of easy to miss in the new catalog. And maybe what I should do is show you them in the catalog first. What is this one called? Page 83. It's so nice that we can open the catalog now. So this little cutie is like totally hidden up here. You see it? Maybe in the sun is better. So it's got those stitch leaves and you can see it on the Daffodil Delight cardstock there. So we've got that. And then we've also got, where are those? Sorry, I should have looked this up, but I wasn't thinking. What else is new? Want to see it all. Okay, so the picture this dies, which are on page 67. These are a must-have. So it's another one that is very easy to miss. If you fell in love with the Peekaboo Farm, you probably saw this, but I mean, it's listed up here or in the back with the other dies. But look, it cuts out these stitch circles. You end up with a positive and a negative. The would that be the negative? The negative is like a frame. You can use it on your card front. But not only is there circles, there's rectangles. So let me show you these 3 dies. So this is that stitched greenery. It's a full size. Like we could do a full card front with this. My new iPad, when it ships, has that new center stage feature. So I'm hoping that when I move, it's going to move. I hope. Fingers crossed. Okay, so these are the circles. So we've got 3 large, well, 1 large, 2 medium, 3 small. Super cute, right? So positive and negative. And then with the rectangles, we have stitching and like dashes. It's like Morse code on here. So you want to see those. Let's turn on this extra light. I'm sorry if it gives you some glare, but there's a shadow that comes down from my iPad and it just cascades. Okay, so let me show you. These are the stitched circle ones. Now, I know that this is probably a little bit difficult to see, but there's a method to my madness here. So this is the snail mail DSP. I keep standing like right out of frame, don't I? Okay, so I went ahead and I die cut, because you can just load in some DSP and cut it, fill it in. You can also make an adorable shaker card. Let's put these hearts down there. And then I'm going to stamp an image and a sentiment in there. And then I have all these cute little stitch circles that I can use for something else, but I want to show you another new product. So Sweet Farewell. You see where I'm going with this? Tiffany can vouch for this. I got this strictly for the paper airplane. I mean, the rest are cute because she's leaving for Maui. Like, will I fit in your luggage? But I honestly, I got this for the paper airplane because any envelope that goes in the mail should have something on it, but I think it should have a Happy Mail sticker. And I did, or a stamp. I did actually have a custom one made before I started stamping. It was when I was still knitting and sending out my wares. I would put that Happy Mail stamp on the envelope, but it was an acrylic one that was like mounted and glued, and it didn't last. Okay, so here is the paper airplane. I know it's not going to fit entirely in there, but we could always put the swirl in here, or just assume, as I did when I was designing this, that all of these little lines are the airplane going all loopy. Okay, so there's that. How stinking cute is this? Oh, let me turn off that light, and then we don't get the glare from above. Okay, so super cute sentiments in here. And then threw it together. So I think that this is probably intending to, right, Pam? It's gonna be so much fun. I think this one is probably intended to kind of replace, I must have moved my iPad because I'm like standing at the edge of my mat to stay in frame. Okay, not gonna worry about it. If you only see half of my face, that's okay. You don't even really need to see my face, except who doesn't want to see all these facial expressions? Okay, so for the third time, I think this replaced Itty Bitty Greetings. And I want to do Sending You This Paper Hug. So I actually found that sentiment first, then I thought of the airplane, then I thought of the DSP, like the swirly DSP, and I'm like, oh, I could have stamps, and that's how the idea evolved from just this to this. Because sometimes the ideas don't come. So if you ever have ideas for what you'd like to see me do on Wednesdays, please let me know. It doesn't always flow. And I was actually just saying to my team yesterday, who else is feeling completely overwhelmed? Sorry, I had a messenger pop up. There's so much new stuff. And I mean, I lost 2 days because of the self-isolation. And I mean, we are at home for 14 days. My daughter tested positive. She's doing okay. It's a cold. I mean, it's COVID, but so far her symptoms, which are waning, are like a cold. So we are at home at least for the next 2 weeks. We're working remotely anyways, but yeah. It wasn't something I planned on sharing, but it is what it is. Okay, so I lost those 2 days. I've got, if you look at the middle, like the middle and the bottom shelf, I don't think you can see the bottom one. Let me show you my fat arm there. Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm a little too high up. So you see that middle shelf and then the bottom one, that's all the annual catalog now. Last week, it was all retired, which is now on the floor and in a box for a BOGO sale. So that's all new. Anything with the green stickers is brand new. I'm feeling very overwhelmed because I feel like it is a race to be the first to post something with a new bundle, suite. Like, you want to get it out there. You want to get it into the demonstrator group. You want to get it out onto Pinterest and YouTube. And no need to apologize, my dear. It's just, it's like a race. And I can't. I've got product shares to prep. I've got creativity delivered that is now designed, but I still have to type up the tutorial, which is almost done, Tiffany. Record the videos, prep Blends Club, because that's not done. Like, so much to do. So the last thing I need to worry about is basically FOMO and being the first to get something out there. So sometimes it can feel overwhelming. It's so exciting when there's a new catalog, but it's also like, okay, now what? So let me grab that. So I'm kind of thinking we need a mat behind this. And right now this is 4 by, what is it? 4 by 5 1/4, I want to say. Yes, so the mat, actually maybe we don't need to mat it, it'll just go on a full card base. Thank you, Megan. We are pretty sure it's from her work, which is now closed due to the tightened restrictions, but I feel like this is a Dave phrase. I feel like the province is playing silly bugger. Like, can we just figure this out already? Like, put us into full lockdown if we need. Like, let's just be done with this. We're on the 3rd wave, and it feels like the first wave never subsided. Like, there's 500 new cases a day. It's just, it's nuts. Okay, so I think the one thing I'm struggling with is, should I fussy cut this, or should I just stamp it right on there? Also wondering, maybe I pop up the circles and leave the background. So I figured out most of the design. Now it's like the nitty gritty that I have to figure out. Okay, so do we pop up this, which is only DSP, or do we pop up the circles, which are still only DSP, but would require less strength? Opening the window did nothing. It's still hella hot in here. Okay, maybe we just stamp it, but I will have to mask off those little dashes, which is fine. In the meantime, I can do this. I really thought this was going to be a photopolymer one. Oh, first one. First one. You know, there's always that panic when you're putting on a cling mount stamp, because if you get it in the wrong spot, I mean, it's like that forever. There ain't no getting this off. And there was one time, I can't remember what stamp set it was, but I thought, I'm going to try something. I'm going to peel all of this away and put all of the stamps down at one time. It worked for probably 75% of the stamp set, and then one of them was like super wonky. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, now all the blocks that I need are being used by the popsicle. So let's do that, and we'll use a D block for this one. What do you think? Should I pop them up? Hi, Kathy. Pop up the circles. Okay, I can only see like 3 comments the way that I'm viewing it, but 3 is better than none. Okay, so sending you this paper hug is going to go in the bottom. I'm not going to zoom in, because if I do, I'm going to forget to zoom out. Okay, let's start by, I want to figure out where this is going. I always have a pencil nearby, because you never know when it's going to come in handy. We need it for the popsicle card too. So let's move all of this stuff out of the way. We're going to grab, this is one of the full adhesive Post-it notes. And what size circle do you think that is? See, this is why I will never get rid of my circle punches. This is basically a 1 3/4 inch circle, which I happen to have. Thank you very much. So I'm going to punch a circle. My 1 3/4 inch circle punch I bought used, and it was not good from the get-go. If you ever buy something like this used, make sure you test it first, because there is no punch hacks that work on this one. It's just not sharp enough. but it is a punch. Okay, so my next question, should we do this in Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana? Like, should we do that or should we do it in black? And I'm going to erase this pencil line now that I don't need it because I don't want to smear my ink after. What is that, Diane? The circle layers. Do you mean this? If I pop this up, I am going to die cut a matte to give it some stability. You know what? I'm going to go for it, and I am going to stamp in Coastal Cabana. So now I don't really need to mask this off, but if you have it where you don't if you don't want to ink that up, just use the edge of your ink pad. You could use your Stampin' Write marker, you could use a Post-it note, you could use washi tape, but make sure you get all of that. I can see that I'm just missing a little tail there. The Stampin' Write markers are great for something like this. I don't find that they're always quite as juicy. I know we all love that word, right? So let me try the super awkward. Let's do that so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Now let's ink her up the cardstock. Woo! It looks kind of funny without the dashes. I wonder if I should have put them, but it's too late now. I've tried everything with that punch. I've even tried taking it apart. No such luck. I really feel like we needed those little dashes. So, Stampin' Write marker to the rescue again. See how handy it comes in? Now I don't have to try and line this up again. I am not used to this kind of chaos in here. I think that what I need to do is, I'm just going to think this through out loud. I need to bring up my folding table that I was using when I was prepping for Spring Fling and put all the product shares out there and spread things out. I can get Blends Club ready. I can get the product shares ready outside of here because this room is a disaster and I don't work well in a disaster. Hey, Megan, do you want to let me know, did you mean that I should pop this up? Because if that's the case, I am going to do it where it's mounted on maybe even basic white thick to give it some stability. In the meantime, we can put this down again and we can stamp our sentiment. And I'm thinking I'm going to do this one in red. If you have followed my YouTube channel, or if you see it on Facebook, you know that anytime I've done anything with this snail set, I'm basically using Pacific Point and Poppy Parade for that male, but I love Rio Red and Bermuda Bay. Okay, so off to the races. Oh my gosh, it's hot in here. Greetings from Idaho. Hello, Kathy. Okay, that is what you meant. So I'm going to get a piece of basic white thick. Thought I had a full piece cut. Will this work? No. So, oi, oi, oi. Who else doesn't work well in a mess? I know that when I showed the crafter math at the Spring Fling, everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is what my desk looks like on any given day. But we all work the way we work, right? And I don't do well with chaos. Kathy, which ones? The, I'm blanking. Picture this. Okay, so right now, it really doesn't matter where we put this as long as it's not like going off the page. So let's do this. I'll run it through and then we can line it up because I'm going to be trimming it down. No, you can't see me right now. I'm sorry for the table shake. It's funny now that we're like working remotely. No one knows what day it is. So look at all these. We got all these stitched circles that we can use for something else now. And imagine if you did die cut this from a couple of different colors. You could make a really cute circle design. So Dave was asking me a question, and how did I manage to go so high up? As I say, it doesn't matter. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to attach it this time. He's like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah, picture this, right? So, Lori, I have no idea what that is in Celsius, but we are 22 degrees Celsius, and I'm wearing a t-shirt with a tank top on underneath and jeans. I've got my window open because I thought there might be a breeze, but there's not. I think it's just bringing in more heat. And I mean, we had our heat on up until yesterday. So I can save this and use this for something else. I know you can't see much of it. So let's try that again. So when I said it didn't matter where it went, it really does. Now, the bonus is because this is stitched, when you go to put it in, it like aligns itself and locks in. Like, we know it's in the right spot. It's not going anywhere. Sorry for the table shake. I could move it to my other table, which might be a good idea, depending on how much more die cutting we do. Okay, so now we have even more stitch circles. Woo-wee! Okay, so now you can see I've got some marks from my glue and from the dies. I don't love that, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to just use my little guillotine trimmer to trim this down. It's not on there perfectly straight, but as long as I'm just cutting the basic white off, it should be good. Oh, and I wanted to toot my own horn for a second. It's actually my team that I couldn't have done it without them, but I promoted to Silver Elite last week. It was so surreal. I went to check my reports. 32. Well, that's nice. Thank you, Melanie. I went to check my reports last week, and there was a bonus in there because it's been a great year. And by year, I mean from October to now, but I mean, whatever. But I promoted to Silver Elite last week, and I could not do that without my amazing team. And if you want to join our Crafted AF team, there's no better time than this month with that starter kit. Ooh, it looks so cute with the little dashes, doesn't it? Okay, so should we use foam strips or dimensionals? Thank you, Kathy. So I need to send a very nice email to my upline because she sent me some lovely flowers today. Lovely. It's always nice to get flowers, and Dave's like, who's that from? What's that for? I'm like, for Silver Elite, baby! So I was giddy. Like, if you think I'm in a silly mood every now and then, it was like, Silver Elite! And Megan, it was like the first day she wasn't feeling well. We thought it was a cold. And Dave didn't react the way I thought he would. I'm like, both of you. But my daughter at least was like, I'm sorry, Mom. My headache got in the way, and I know you worked really hard for this, and yeah. So, yay! Foam strips, what do we think? Thank you. Foam strips, I think I can't use the foam adhesive sheets because I have already die cut this. So let's use some strips. Now, if you were doing this as a shaker card, the foam strips would be the best way to do this. We could do this as a shaker card, but I'm not going to. I want to show you that there are ways to use these kind of dies without a shaker card, but Melanie, shaker card! And the sequins for everything carried over, so they have, there's green, there's red, there's orange, and there's white and silver. So those would be great. I don't think there's a lot of sequins left. The Whale of a Time one's retired. The Artistry Blooms are adhesive backed. Oh, I should mention that these little pieces, we can use them. So find the sticky side and pop them up in a little area like this where you don't want it to dip down. And usually I would use the ends, but I've already used them. So you can just snip little bits and pieces off of these. You don't have to use the whole strip. But if you are using foam strips, don't go in and think that a dimensional will do the job, because dimensionals aren't as high as the foam strips. So you'll have differing heights. Not wuthering heights, differing heights. And you know I'm kind of particular, so. So you can do as much or as little as you want. I don't want them dipping down. It's not a shaker card, but still. Okay, and you don't even actually have to remove the release paper on those ones. Now I'm thinking. Hello from Central Florida. Honeybees stamping. Is it Hive? I can't see the program that I'm using. I can only see 2 comments, and the timestamp is like right where I did, Kathy. It's shorter than I wanted, but that's okay. It'll grow. And we're back in lockdown. I mean, we weren't ever out of lockdown. My province has been in critical state since like November, but further restrictions. So I'm glad I got it done when I did. Okay, so I'm basically just looking to have an even margin on all 4 sides. I know you can't see the bottom right now. And the best way for me to ensure that there's an even border is to make sure I just get to my dashed line there. Ooh, good call, Megan. It looks smart. Okay, so for these, I'm just going to use some glue. Thank you, Kathy. So with this, we'll just kind of pop them in, wiggle them around, and stand right above it to make sure that you don't have too much, like you're getting it straight on instead of skewed, although it wouldn't be the end of the world. Give it a little press. I'm like all about the mail cards lately, eh? Eh? Totally Canadian. And I don't think I have any of them left. I sent out the prizes for Spring Fling, and I used the snail mail, like low profile shaker card that I did for a video 2 weeks ago. So that one went out. But like I said at the beginning, if you're just tuning in, you would have missed this. I will do a card destash next week. If I forget, remind me, because I think tonight is going to be long enough showing you these 2 cards that have nothing to do with each other. I feel like it needs some bling. Should we use a few of the resin hearts? I guess we could, since we've got hearts everywhere, right? Resin heart. Also, a quick little reminder that the mini catalog goes until June 30th. So don't forget about that one. I know we were just talking in the team meeting last night about how when the annual catalog comes out, we don't have very long with just the annual catalog, and then the mini will come out, and it's like, what annual? Like, we barely have any time. But that being said, now that the annual is out, don't forget about the mini, because these items are only around for another 6 weeks or so. Should we do white hearts or red? I'm going to say red. I'm going to make the executive decision because there's a bit too much white in some of these little areas. Oh, they're so cute. I really wish these had carried forward. I'm going to put that one on an angle because it just feels right. And you know that we have to do them in threes. The BOGO sale that I am participating in, for those of you in Canada, is supposed to be wrapping up tonight. I know that I've got just a couple of items left. So if you are wanting anything, if you're not a member of the group already, let me know and I can send you an invitation. But it should be wrapping up tonight. And there will be another sale in July when the mini catalog has ended. And I know I've got people asking me to hold things already. I'm like, no, we're 6 weeks out. I can't do it. Okay, so is this done? No, it's not. It's not. Should we do pink twine or white? As I ask that, I'm like, I think I know. Oh my gosh, I found the cutest thing. Closes at 10. Thank you, Melanie. Oh, I'm glad you all agree on my executive decision. Okay, so pink twine or white? I'm going to move these out of the way. And I think with the other one, I'm just going to show you the idea I have, and then I'm going to save it for next week's video. I know, I'm torn. You know what? Let's make it easy. Let's do both. Because I have a ton of the pink and some of the white. You're probably like, don't ask the question and then just do what you want. My daughter gets mad at me all the time for that. I'll ask her opinion on something and then I do what I want. She's like, why do you even ask then? I just needed someone to confirm that I was right. Okay, so I started off by saying I need to share something with you. I found the cutest little menopause digital stamp today. It's from Kathy Zielski. She's one of my faves. Loved her for years. So I will try to remember to share that on my page, in my group. One or both. Where is the white end? They were so relevant. Oh, that's why that pink ended up in there. So usually when I'm doing twine, 1, I work upside down, but 2, I tie a knot so that I don't have to deal with this. Ooh-wee. I don't know why bows upside down work. They just do. It's like science or something. Love it. Big loopy bow. Okay. Still feel like there might be something missing, but let's call that done. What do you think? Would you have ever thought to get this stamp set like me just for the paper airplane? I'm a dork like that. But seriously, Tiffany, I know you're not watching because you're having your team meeting, but will I fit in your luggage? Can I just say, I am only 10,000 points away from earning the incentive trip. So my Silver Elite and my Carolyn getting to Silver was a big bump. So 10,000 more points. It's gonna happen. Okay, so sending you this paper hug is from Through It Together. You're gonna want this. Like, there are kind of sympathy, empathy type sentiments, but there's also just some nice ones, like I love you no matter what. Stay strong, my friend. I'm here for you. Forever grateful. May your comeback be stronger than your setback. And that is in a current stamp set. Follow your dreams. It's a beautiful little set. And then Sweet Farewell. I don't know that I'll ever use the other images, but that paper airplane, yep. Okay, so let me know what you think of that. And that is the picture this dies. You need them. I'm telling you right now, you need them. Okay. Should we do the popsicle card? Right? So cute. So you and I want them for different reasons, but that's the fun of it. Okay, popsicle. And while you decide that, let me show you. So that stitched greenery die, which remember I said that was a sleeper too. So this is the rectangles from the picture of this die. So we just did the circles. Let me bring that in case you forgot. It's more likely I forgot. So circles, and then we've got these rectangles. And remember I was saying it's kind of like Morse code. You've got a long dashed line and then the dots. Super cute, right? So that's Pear Pizzazz. And then I did one where I did the die cutting first, and then I went back in with that stitched greenery die. And I'm telling you, you're going to need this one too. This is a full background die. You can do your whole card front. It is solid. Look how many poke holes there are in there. But it came out like that. Okay, so there it is with the stitching. And then here, I know I might have another popsicle after this. Here it is on garden green with just the stitching. Isn't it gorgeous? Who loves stitching? Me. So here it is, and had I coordinated it a little better now, given how big the die is, it can be hard to place it. But look what happens if you align it so that the Pear Pizzazz lines up with the garden green. How pretty. And then I thought you could have flowers like climbing up. So I think that's going to be my video on Monday. I can't do this one live because anything could go wrong. At least if I'm doing it as a YouTube video, I can edit my boo-boos out, and sometimes you're none the wiser. Okay, so I'm thinking that will be Monday, and I'll give it a little more thought. But these are the picture this dies. Don't miss out on these ones. I know they're with us for a year, but I think the more people start to see them used, the faster they're going to go. So you get your positive, you get your negative. Okay, I'm just going to do the popsicle one. So I'll finish both of these. Like, I'll finish the one that I'm doing, but I also want to show you how to make this, because if you weren't part of Spring Fling, or if you haven't seen this fold, you're going to want to know how to do it because it's fun. My bone folder would be right here. Okay, so I will finish this one, and these will both be up for grabs. Now, I will ask, if you have received a card from me in the past, can you hold off? I would like to be able to get a card to everyone that views, and sometimes it's the same people because you type so fast, and I mean, you're super fans, right? But hold off and see if maybe someone who hasn't gotten a card yet would like it. And I mean, you can make them. So let me grab, I think we'll stick with the Bermuda Bay. And, oh, my computer's gonna die again. I didn't plug it in this time. Uh-oh, I may not be showing you this. Let me give you the basics so that if this dies, how much battery do we have left? I can't believe I didn't plug it in. 7%. I don't think we're going to make it, guys. Okay. Full sheet, 8.5 by 11. You're going to cut it down to 5.5. We've got 5.5 by 11. We're going to cut it down to 5.5 by 10.5. So we're taking a 1/2 inch off of there. Now we are going to go to 4 1/4. But we're going to back it up by a 1/16. So we're at 4 3/16. That probably doesn't make sense, but this is what helps it to close. And now we're going to score it at, oh shoot, 8.5. That looks right. And then we are going to put a pencil mark at 1 inch. So I like to line it up there because I can see my number and just put a pencil mark. And now what I'm going to do is turn it, line it up there, and pivot, and just trim that part off. Now, I don't want to start at that corner because it will really crunch it up. Not guilty, Cheryl. Now, the one weird thing about this is that right now it's backwards. But maybe let's do it backwards. We're going to have it opening on the left instead of the right. Yes, absolutely, Megan. I did share that in our Spring Fling, but you wouldn't know that because you can't participate, right? But because the classic label punch is now retired, you can absolutely use the stitched rectangle die, and I would do that, except that it's more steps, and I don't know if my computer's going to last that long. I cannot believe I didn't plug it in. it's telling me that this software is using up a lot of resources. I'm like, yeah. Okay, so you need a piece for the front that is 4 by 5 1/4. Super easy. Now I'm going by memory here. I did just make this before I went live, but so this is our typical mat, 4 by 5 1/4. What is our height? That looks about right. It does look like we have a little bit more space on the top and bottom, but let's just leave it. Now for that little panel, oh, it's backwards. We could do it this way, but I want to show you how to do it. So when you cut this piece, you actually get enough for 2 cards. So this needs to be 2.5 inches. This paper, I'm going to miss it so much. 2.5, is that right? Yes, because it gets us 2. Okay, so 2.5 by 5 1/4. It's got the same length as the other thing. And now what we're going to do is line it up at 3/4 of an inch on the right. Can you let me zoom in here? Okay, so you can see I'm at my 3/4 of an inch. If you want to move it up to the top so that it stays even, be my guest. What I usually would do is just put it down and extend my lead so that it's long enough to reach in there. Now we're going to go to 3/4 of an inch on the left side of the blade. It's not charging. And we're going to do the same thing. Now what we're going to do is attach that, well, not attach it, but line it up so that this pencil line and this pencil line align on the track. And this gives you 2 pieces. So one of them you're going to have to use upside down. Let me zoom back out. Okay, so front, back, you get it? Got it? Good. And then on the inside, it's another 4 by 5 1/4. And oh, I feel like I'm racing. Okay, so this time we're going to use the rainbow on that little fold. Just going to glue it down. Cheryl, I just keep reading your comment. Please don't ever feel bad. Next week is going to be a de-stash, so get your typing hands ready if you want to claim some cards. I actually had one of my friends sent me a messenger on the weekend. Do you have Mother's Day cards? And we need a birthday card. And her son came to pick them up, and I'm like, tell your mom not to send money. And of course, she's like, how much do you want? I'm like, nothing. You're actually helping me de-stash. I don't have the card rack and the shelf that I once had because I just don't have the room, and craft sales aren't really my idea of fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of standing, which is funny because I'm standing all the time now, but okay. I digress. So if you're using a stitched rectangle, what you're going to do is line it up. Let's pretend that this is my stitched rectangle die. It's back there, but let's pretend that that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to run it through. And then what we're going to do is this part's now going to be cut out, but let's pretend just for a second. I told you I don't use retired product, but I'm cheating. Okay, so I'm going to just punch. Now, also remember that this one's going the opposite way from my sample, and I will show pictures. I'll take pictures of these after my live when I've got some battery left. Okay, so whether it's the stitched rectangle or the classic label punch or something else, you're just going to trace where that punch is. And then you are, if you're punching, you're die cutting, you're going to line it up. And you're going to do about 1.5. You don't want to go all the way across. You don't want to go all the way to the edge. Otherwise, your slider mechanism is going to come right out. Okay, so now let me fussy cut this popsicle that I stamped with the weird stick. I did not realize that that wasn't going to fit. My skizzes. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like it's a die cut with that white border. We're going to leave that weird stick on there. I'm not going to use this one on the card. This is just for a quick sample. I will do 2 nice popsicles. but I want to show you how this is going to work. Now you do need some circles as a mechanism. So if you still have your circle punches, or if you have the picture this dies and you have now a whole bunch of stitched circles, you can use these. So let's take these two little ones because the other ones are a little bit big. I think I used a 1-inch circle. So we want one in behind, and a full-size dimensional is just right. So pop that in there, pop a dimensional. Now it has to be, the straight lines have to be able to slide there. So peel that off. And actually I did 2 so that I had some extra height. Line them up. And then there is our mechanism. I could have actually done it where the stitching for this one was the right way, so it faced the inside, but I'm not that smart. Okay, and then we're going to use this as our mechanism, but like I said, I'm not using this popsicle. So that, I should also mention that you need to kind of work this a little bit because those dimensionals are a tight fit, and then when you get to this part, you have to wiggle it. Okay, so that is our closure. This is going to be a little bit weak. Okay, Megan, we're almost done because my computer's almost done. This part would be really weak to be pulling that back and forth. So the other thing I did, if you notice on here, I had the big flower, I had the leaves. You don't want to pull it by the leaves because it would fall off. I've got the dragonfly, but I've got just a banner, and that gets attached onto the dimensional before the flower. And that's just with one of the pick a label punches. Stamp your sentiment on there, and then that can be your pull. Of course, oh, it's stuck on top. So it's a super cute fun fold, and like I said, I cased this from Stampin' Before Anything Else, and they cased it from someone on their team, but I made it my own by putting this banner pull on there and then a little bit of ribbon. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. I will finish these and take some pictures, and yeah. So I thank you so much for joining me tonight. My battery is at 6%, so I thank you so much for joining me. Let me know which you loved. Did you love the picture this dies with the paper airplane? Are you looking forward to the video on Monday with the stitch greenery die? Did you love this? Did you love it all? Do you just love me? Anyways, I'm getting silly. I'm gonna go have a popsicle and finish these cards, and I will see you next week. Bye!